Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to Maximus the Fourth. What I have in presentation for you guys today is Coca-Cola Original. Today, I'm going to be doing an official review on this, letting you guys know about a little bit of the events that have happened with Coca-Cola through the years, and then ultimately, I'm going to give you guys a taste test, letting you know exactly what I think about Coca-Cola. But the real big question that I have to ask today is what caused Coca-Cola to become better than Pepsi? Because at one point, Coca-Cola was not the best and number one ranked cola soft drink on the market. And we all know that Pepsi, at one point in 1985, was actually beating Coca-Cola. After a series of blind taste tests had been conducted by Coca-Cola, it was very clear that Pepsi was beating them in 1985 because people preferred the sweeter taste of Pepsi over Coca-Cola's Coke. And so what happened is Coca-Cola, they came out with a new flavor called New Coke. And if you guys watch Maximus the Fourth regularly, you might remember the story. New Coke caused absolutely nothing but a fiasco. I mean, people instantly were freaking out because Coca-Cola had discontinued Original Coke and just replaced it completely with New Coke. So Original Coke was gone. And for those of you that might not know, but some of you might remember, the real only difference between Original Coke and New Coke was that New Coke had sucrose in it. And sucrose is a natural sugar that comes from plants like fruits, vegetables, and nuts. And for whatever reason, along with the high fructose corn syrup that New Coke had in it, just like Original Coke, it was blocking out the original fruit notes that Original Coke had. So this was bad. I mean, people were freaking out for the last 79 days, almost 3 months. And after 1,500 phone calls per day and over 40,000 letters were written, Coca-Cola very quickly realized that this was bad. So they discontinued New Coke and brought back Original Coke, but they had renamed it and rebranded it as Coca-Cola Classic. And because of that, to this very day, that might be the only reason why Coca-Cola didn't go into complete extinction. But coming back with New Coke and doing extensive amounts of research in the past, maybe a month ago or two, it's very clear, we don't know this for 100% sure, but there's a lot of people that do believe, including myself, that to this very day, New Coke is one of the biggest marketing failures, if not the absolute biggest marketing failure in soft drinks history. Very well could have acted as both an improvised and unintentional decoy that could have caused a lot of interest to spike in consumers for Coca-Cola, where they really were not that interested in regular Coca-Cola in the first place. Things happen like this. You just never know what's going to happen. And so I think that that's the reason why Coca-Cola is number one to this very day. It's a very similar story to Crystal Pepsi. Back in the 90s, people picked it up once and then they weren't picking it up again because they just didn't really like it. They were used to Pepsi, normal Pepsi. But the LA Beast, after promoting the living daylights out of Crystal Pepsi, he raised a lot of awareness, and to this day, Crystal Pepsi is still probably high in demand if it's available and there's people that are going to buy it. So that's the story, you guys. That is why, more than likely, Coca-Cola to this very day is number one as far as soft drink companies go. So now that I've shared with you the history of Coca-Cola and why it is probably number one to this day and has passed Pepsi, I'm going to open up this bottle and let you guys know exactly what I think about it. So here we go. before I drink this, I will share this with you guys, is that for those of you that don't know, Coca-Cola actually can be used in order to fight depression. There's just something about it. It tastes so ridiculously good that it can literally pull you out of depression. My grandmother, 11 or 12 years ago, had lost her mother. This is my grandmother that just lost her husband, my grandfather that just died. And her doctor literally recommended Coke to her because the doctor said that there's something about Coke. It just tastes so good that it can literally help depression. And even I've tried Coke in my day when I was going through some hard times in dealing with depression with myself of my own. And it actually really does help depression, but I feel like over the years Coca-Cola, the flavor overall has kind of dwindled. And for whatever reason, it just doesn't taste exactly the same as it once did 11 or 12 years ago, unless you have vanilla Coke, in my own opinion. But today, I'm going to give you guys a very honest taste test and let you know exactly what I think about it. So here we go. Okay, so right off the bat, what I'm smelling is good. And I don't know if Coke has become less attractive to me because I've started to learn to love Pepsi more over the years or what, but it's a trip. So that does definitely smell like original Coke, no doubt about it. The fruit notes are there, but what does this actually taste like? Let's just give it a shot. Yeah, it's okay. I wouldn't say it's blowing my socks off. It's very fair. It absolutely has a property in here that does taste really good. Whether you like it or not, it's definitely going to taste somewhat good to where it's probably going to pull you out of that depression that you're dealing with. But how good is Coca-Cola actually? Is it amazing? Like, does it blow my socks off? No. But to this very day, I can tell you that Coca-Cola with real sugar in it, the Mexican Coke, is much better. It's become much better than regular Coke, in my own opinion. So, based on what I'm tasting, the flavor is definitely still there, but for some reason, it just tastes a little bit more watery than what I remembered it. And I really believe that it has dwindled away and it really is not as good as I once thought it was. What if I tried tasting it blind like this? Yeah, I mean, there's just not much going on here. I I don't get it. Like like I said, the taste is there and it's okay, but according to what normal Coke used to be, it's just not really there anymore. So sadly, I'm gonna leave Coca-Cola with an overall score of 6 out of 10. It's still okay, but it's disappointing because the flavor just has dwindled over the years. I don't know why, but that's just the way things happen. So there you guys go. Hope you enjoyed the review. Hope you learned something new. And make sure to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure to leave a comment. That way you can help boost the algorithm. And make sure you share this video with a buddy. Alright guys, see you next time.